This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Welcome back, Monty.
Welcome back, Carey Ann. You know, when you first started talking, I didn't recognize you because you were talking so low last time we saw each other.
I know. I think I lost my voice there for a bit with allergies.
Yep. And we got the amazing Mr. Jason Hoover in the house.
We do.
Good to be back.
And a very special lady with us.
And we have a very special lady. You know, let me just say this. And only one small reason why I wanted Kelly to come on is because there's so many reasons, okay?
Only name one.
Kelly Davenport's with us here, but I wanted to. So a couple months ago, Kelly sent this really, really sweet text, and she said, "You know, the last company I worked with, and we won't mention any other companies' names. It's not the point." She said, "You know, the 2 or 3 years I was there, I did a total of $2 million in business, or something like that. You feel free to correct me, Kelly." And then she said, "That was the 2 years I was there. I've been here for about a year, and this month, how much did you close that month?" Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it was 3.2
in 1 month.
3.2 in 2.5 years.
Okay, there we go.
3.2. I'm sorry.
And then 1 month was $6 million.
Congrats! Amazing.
Last month she had 9 closings and $6 million.
That is amazing.
In 1 month.
I love that.
I don't remember doing that. You know, and I've been doing this a long time, Kelly.
And Kelly, how long have you been in the business?
7 years.
That's amazing. That's
so. We're going to get into this and what is her magic sauce, because there is some really special things that she does.
Yes, I can't wait to hear.
We're going to talk about.
I can't wait to hear.
Let's talk about let's talk about our amazing sponsor.
Yes, they're Music City Removal. They're the #1 junk removal service in Nashville, from residential, commercial, and construction. They're experts in ridding you of junk. Their costs include labor and dumping fees without any hidden or added expenses. So whether you need a full clean out or just one item removed, they have you covered.
The Music City Removal team knows the importance of respect and trust while in someone else's home. They understand the inconvenience of junk left behind by previous homeowners and tenants and are determined to provide an affordable and customer-focused junk removal service that puts you first. For a free on-site estimate, just go to musiccityremoval.com. That's musiccityremoval.com.
Yes, Music City Removal, because cluttering cute. But those numbers shine, Monty. Those numbers definitely shine.
In full transparency, you know, really, truly, I asked this lady to come on here, and really the numbers are impressive. I mean, the numbers are hugely impressive. But what I really love about her most of all is she said, "Monty, I don't have anything to share. There's nothing special about what I do." And I said, "That's because you're being you." And that's what we want to talk about there, Kelly, because I think at the end of the day, I think all of us should strive to do our business about just being us, you know, finding our vein and being us. We had a panel with Kelly on it recently. Is one of the reasons I asked, you know, was reminded I need to have her on our show. Mm-hmm. We had this podcast. We had this panel, top producer panel of newer agents to the industry, and each one was totally different.
Love that.
Okay. On one end, it's all about social media. On the other end of the spectrum, Kelly's saying, "I don't do a lot of social media. I just love on people." Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's talk about that.
Yes, tell us your story.
I know.
First of all, let's hear about you. Who are you, Kelly Davenport?
Okay, so I jokingly say, so today is my birthday, but
really is.
I act like I'm 75 in social media. I am not of the 2021 social media gurus like a lot of my coworkers are. And you're right. I think the thing that is most important, I think you can get so wrapped up in the hustle and bustle of life. But the thing that I'm appreciative of is I love being a listener. Mm. So when I can focus in on someone, listen to their story, listen to their needs and wants instead of busy, you know, off to the next lead, off to the next one. When you take the time to invest in this family and really be a listener, I think that is the key.
Did you learn that having triplets? Did you know she has triplets?
Amazing.
She does, really. You
Now,
have
now are they listeners? That's the question.
I know that's seriously. I guess we'll see. The identical girls are out there sitting at the bar.
And how old
right
are they
now.
today? Or how old are they now?
Well, they are 15. They'll be 16 in a couple of months.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I guess my point is I love y'all's laughter in here earlier, and that's really the things that I remember is the LOL, and remember to laugh out loud. But the first thing is the listening. Mm-hmm. That I'm making it stand for something else right now, and it's the listener. And the O to me is putting others before yourself, and that is a big deal to me. To not have that selfish ambition or the vain, but putting others before yourself. And the last one, and that is the key to protect yourself in this profession, is the L at the end stands for lean not on the dollar.
Okay, love that.
Okay, do not, because once you become fixated on that, I feel you've taken your eyes off the person and the family that you're representing. It was very kind. I had a reload client talk on the phone with me first, and he was about to sign a new build contract. And it was a nice penny. I mean, it was around $950, and he called me because a friend had used me to represent their family, and he said, I just want to know the quality of the product. Now, I had two roads to go down. I could say, let's do it. I mean, he was ready to sign.
Right.
My name was on there. He just wanted me to represent him real quick. I mean, this is an easy closing. Or he wanted truth.
Right.
And because of the truth that I gave him of the quality of product he was about to get, he then called me back a week later, and let's say times that one by 4 is now what he's looking at. And so he just said, I was so impressed with you not caring about, let's sign it and let's get this deal closed. And he said, you really cared about us. And I had no idea what their price bracket was or what they were looking for, but I wanted to help them just to be a wise investor. And I sent them different reviews of this particular builder. Shall not reveal. But anyway, I just was truthful. And
Maybe
I think
it's the same builder I'm into. Same house.
Probably the same builder that everybody's.
yeah, I know, really. But I guess my point is just putting others before yourself, not thinking about getting to that.
I love that. So LOL, be a listener, put others first, and
Yep.
lean not on the dollar.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's really special because I think you're right. People, it's interesting, even in my industry, that loan size is just not worth it. And I'm like, what loan size? How do you even know the loan size? We should be, moving in a forward direction based upon everything else, but, that's an opportunity to help another, and serve another, which is great. So that's amazing. So how do you get the phone to ring to allow yourself to do the LOL?
So basically, how do I cultivate these leads?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So once again, I love that I am a part of Jason's team. What should I go ahead and can I say that?
Sure.
Yeah.
The e-com team.
E-com.
We
Part
do
of
that.
RG. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Carey Ann knows all about that. I think that has been very nice. And also, I think when you work with so many family and friends and they are impressed, they're able to share with others. And so that makes you feel the best is when
Amazing.
people are referring others to you. You were wondering, because I'm not the biggest on social media. I guess because I think all of us are blessed with gifts, and we need to focus on those gifts.
Love it. Stay in your lane.
Yeah. So what would maybe my gift be is I love being a talker. So never been
Gift for
shy.
gab. Gift for gab.
Yeah. Never been shy all my life. So my point is I love being with people. I love hearing their stories. And so I'm very involved in the community.
One thing she also shared, on the panel, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, but that she's always listening, to her, like somebody says, boy, I wish I had a 3-car garage. Well, that's obviously a conversation starter, right?
Right.
You're always listening to those around
For
you.
opportunity. I think that's huge. Some people can move through life in sales, right? And they just missed, I mean, that opportunity just missed them by. Like it's, you know, where if you take the time to actually turn your ears on and hear what's going on around you, there's probably a lot of opportunity, you know, that you can create and then take that listening to the whole new level, right? Then start to narrow that down into exactly their needs and wants with specifics. Huge.
So just to touch on that a little bit, I think what Kelly is doing is just, she's going way beyond the customer service. Would you agree? I mean, she is giving that wow factor that builds core advocates. And because of that, that's where, you know, she has a family that she did so great with that they like, hey, you need to talk to Kelly. And she gives the same type of experience over and over. And a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
They just lean on the dollar and, you know, the transaction's closed. It's just a normal day and wave goodbye. See you later. It is that customer service that we are lacking greatly in, you know, not just in our industry, many
all industries. Yeah.
Like the other day, I went to get an oil change, and I've been going to this one place since I moved here. And I go there. I even sent my parents when they moved here. I mean, great. I had the worst experience the other day. Absolutely. And I'm like, I was blown away how terrible it was that I waited in line in the heat. They made me turn my car off in the heat. And then I moved it. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of it. But so I was like, no, I'm leaving. I'm done. And went to a brand new place. Got exceptional service. Well, guess who we're going to go to now?
Right. We're moving on to. Yeah,
right.
for sure.
So, and the reason I tell this story is customer service has to be done every single time. It can't be a one and done, you know, one for this customer, one for, no, it's got to be done. You are on your game every single day.
Right. That's important for sure.
And I think sometimes a hot market gets people lazy and they don't do that. Or it's a quick result, it's going to be a quick turnaround, or they don't get professional photos done because they know the home's going to sell anyhow, or it's because it's only a $200,000 when they want to spend the $300 or whatever. And that's what we're fighting, you know, as an industry. And that's why I sent out this morning to our family of professionals the latest Inman discussion about the Department of Justice, you know, pulling back, but when they come back forward, it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah.
And why we're getting so much bad press on this whole thing is because people have gotten lazy. They haven't listened. They've leaned on the dollar. They haven't thought of others first. And that's what's got to change. So I love that, that you're exemplifying exactly what I'm teaching.
The
and
wow
what
plus.
Jason's teaching.
So good. You know, with so many industries right now, with the lack of employees, right? I mean, anywhere you go, I mean, there's minimal. So the service levels have dipped in so many different industries where you, as a real estate agent, can just wow them and, you know, off the top, you know, to really make a difference, because right now so many are experiencing poor service, you know, to a point where that restaurant was closed. Did you double check your bag? This is what I tell the little guy. Did you double check my order? Yes, ma'am. I get it all the way home. 4 things are missing. I was like, what is going on? Until I have to double check, you know. So, you know, being somebody that really makes a point to go over and above is really quite amazing.
It goes back to the core advocate, just like that experience I just had. Well, guess where I'm sending people now?
Right.
Because they overdid, and I'll just tell you who the winning one was Vaveline over there, you know, by the post office.
Oh, cool.
I mean, just as professional as you can. Yes, sir. No, sir. Hey, tell you what, let me do it this way for you. I mean, it was like from everybody. I mean, it's a leadership thing.
It's a leadership thing.
Everybody was top. I mean, for an oil change.
Right.
And then they sold me a transmission thing. I'm like,
they upcharged
throw it
you.
in.
Let's do it.
Because,
And then they're like, hey, how about the cabin filter? I'm like, I love you. Keep going. Let's do it. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll give you 10% off. I'm like, man, this is the place.
Right. That's so good.
You know, I'm a core advocate of them now.
Right.
You know, not anymore of the other place. That's why in our industry, that's what builds. You know, she has core advocates that send her business. That's where we got to be.
Is a big part of your wow experience through strong communication, through, you know, they talk about the love languages, you know, is it through, you know, gifts and things like that, the communication, where do you really shine?
So that's why and it's going to answer, I guess, before we go into me, I did want to think about this because I have had some lunches recently of some new ones. And
I appreciate you taking the time like that,
Yeah,
Kelly.
yeah.
I really do.
I love it. I used to be a teacher, used to teach in Birmingham and Huntsville, so that's my love, the kids and teaching.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say this. For those new ones that think it is just, I'm jumping out of my occupation and I'm jumping in this and the money's flying in. This is just an easy job. I want to encourage them that there's more to it than that. And they've asked, I always call them the younger ones. Sorry, that's a compliment, everyone. But about the social media, that is their focus. But when you represent buyers, we're of all ages, and a lot of us do want communication, talking to someone, not just only text. You know, some people do like to communicate and talk with others, and so my point in saying that is, I met with someone the other day, and I said, "What is your love? Like, what's your passion?" And this person was talking to me about writing.
Oh, okay.
And I said, then find a local group. Be face to face with people, not always on the computer. And I said, that's where you will build the fastest relationships, when you meet people and you're face to face with them. So that's kind of my encouragement to those, is just don't always hide behind a screen.
Right. And also remember who your audience is. I think that's really, really important, because the way you talk to one age group will be different to another age group. The way that you pause and relax, and you're not, even your body language, has to be different. To even if someone wants to be on social media, it's what you post. Remember who your audience is. Who do you want to attract, right? And that's really an important piece. And many people forget that, because I had a situation and I was like, I'm a little confused. I'm not sure you know who your audience is. Like, this is not about you. It's not about me. It's about them, right? I mean, when we take us out of it and focus on the customer, I always tell people I'm not a diva. It doesn't matter if you're buying a manufactured home or a luxury home on the hill. I'll help anybody and everybody. And it's important to make sure people know that you are here to serve them with whatever they want, and you're not going to cherry pick this or that just because, and for them to learn it. That person who bought that first home, 12 years ago, is buying now a little larger home, or a few years later, a little larger home, and now is buying, the multi-million-dollar home, and you really have created clients for life with a strong LOL. I think that's great. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
So we got a question from one of our fans out there. Just text us.
Okay.
Said, would it be fair to say that it's easy to stand out right now if you're customer service intensive? It's a good question. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I think you have to be memorable, and I think customer service can easily be memorable, right? I mean, I remember you being so kind compared to the other one who didn't take a moment to even listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think yes. I think it's you're more of memorable to the ones that you provided it to. I don't think it's a well, it could be on social media. I'm not a social media person either.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Which amazes me, Jason, because you are such you're the technical guy and know a lot about that.
But here's
stuff.
the thing, me, I don't talk unless I got something I need to really say, and that social media is just like, hey.
Yeah. Look what I just ate.
But you can use, and there's many different ways of using social media, right? I mean, I strategically use social media to build a business, type of thing, and that's what I choose
and
to
we
do.
have
So
it
everybody
out there,
does it, yeah.
But we do leverage it out to a VA that handles it mostly.
Sure,
So,
and that's smart as well,
But going back to that question is, I think it does set you apart, because if you provide that wow experience, it resonates, and people want to reciprocate, and want to help you out. And if you're keeping in touch and you keep nurturing those people, I mean, that's where you want most of your business to come from, which, Monte, most of his business comes from his referral base.
Right. And all of it does. Yeah.
Isn't there a quote that many of us used to listen to back in the day? It would be, satisfied customers most likely will bankrupt your business. Meaning, if they're just satisfied,
Right.
they're not coming back. You need to find that wow. You need to, make it very convincing, that you were in it to win it for them, because if they're not wowed, another real estate agent would
Correct.
definitely do that
Yeah.
and wow them. And then all of a sudden that person in your database is no longer, right? And so slowly, that dwindles down to nothing and possibly bankrupts, that particular business. So that's always a good quote to keep in the back of your mind too.
I was going to bring up something when I was on the panel. You had talked about personalities, and Monte knows I love all of the personality tests out there, the Enneagram and all that good stuff, just because it helps you to understand people better. But if I could
By
go
first understanding yourself, that's the key to it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But if I could go back in time just to tell myself before I started, or just anyone that I meet with, I always say that we all have such different personalities, and to protect your heart also. Meaning sometimes we just don't mesh with others or click with them just right.
Yeah.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, and be okay with that. Don't beat yourself up. And I think that you really have to protect your heart too in this industry.
I think when somebody starts stealing your peace, it's time to say goodbye to them, because nothing's worth losing the peace of heart. One of the things I loved about Kelly right off the bat, when we first got to know her, was she goes, I'm a little on the competitive side, and I love my kids so much. Having 3 teenagers, all the same age. And I'll never, ever exchange success for being a great mom. I love that about you, But you've been able to balance both, and I guess your hubby has seen the value of stepping in there and taking care of the kids a little more than maybe he was, and so forth. But I love that you, right off the bat, that was your priority,
And I think, I'm not sure about the lending side, but I know with real estate, I call it the heightened season of the year, and we get a little bit of a slowness. The family sees us more. But yes, I really think with probably lending or real estate, your whole family needs to be supportive of your occupation.
You got to have buy-in. You got to have buy-in.
You do. And I'm very appreciative of my husband. With our almost 16-year-old triplets, he's had to do a lot. And I appreciate that because he knows it will slow down a little in the fall.
I'm sure he appreciates you right now.
Yeah, there we go.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, just touch on for a minute, Kelly, and that is one thing that you had shared with our panel the other day was the ability, and I've said this before, and this is not about Realty One Group, but it is about the idea, the concept, the reality that we're working harder. It seems like to me, and again, I've only been doing this 37 years, almost 4 decades, but it seems to me like we're working harder for less money. And so it has a lot to do with why Connie and I, are in 100% business model, because our concern is if the agent has to work so hard for less money, they've got to achieve more, and they've got to be willing to be flexible in the approach. That it's not about this activity equals this dollar amount. And I feel like sometimes we got stuck sometimes in that mindset. And I think, Carey Ann, you just said it well, that it doesn't matter to you. I mean, we don't even know the numbers. It's about serving the family. It's about serving that need, about honoring that experience. The money will take care of itself. The money will come. But I really appreciate your approach with that as well, because unlike some other scenarios, business models out there, ours is we trust you as a professional to understand that you're worth every dime that you receive as a professional. Sometimes we make this amount. Sometimes we hit a home run. In the baseball world, sometimes we just get on, first base.
Sometimes you get hit by the ball.
Sometimes you get hit by the ball.
Yeah.
So many years back, that changed for lending, right? I mean, rates compressed and margins compressed a long time ago. And I was like, so what you're telling me, 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 anymore. Like it's a negative number. So now I have to increase units to, get the same. So I had to make a decision. Is this what I'm going to do? Like, I just have to do more. Right. And you start to rewrite the business plan, and relook at that and figure out ways that you can help more, and touch more. So yes, possibly I always laugh because some lenders, loan officers were born in the 3 1/4. interest rate world, right? Or born under 3%, you know. I mean, I was born in 7.875, right?
I was born in 15%.
Right. So, I mean, depending upon where you were born in the career, you just think that is. So if they were born in 3% easy money, bing, bang, boom, like you don't know what it is to, you know, pause and restructure and reorganize and readjust or pivot, you know, and, you know, get a little more dirt under the fingernails or, you know, have more sweat, you know, down
or
the,
be okay about doing one for free, or
Right.
I know you've done this before. It's cost you to do the deal,
Right.
Because you honored the relationship.
And you really goes back to initial conversations we've had many months ago. Is you are the CEO of your own business. It's important that you really start there. It's not Monty's, Jason's, Kelly's responsibility to create any dollars for us. We have to figure it out for ourselves. So.
That's why Realty One Group Music City has been a breath of fresh air, because they allow you to have your own business.
Fabulous.
When I've been under someone else, I would call it more of a corporate setting. They are telling how much that you are allowed, and you are not to mess with that percent.
Oh, gotcha.
And so that's why I rave about it constantly. It's funny that Monte and Jason sees it all the time, how others pursue you to cross over.
Sure.
It makes no common sense. Why would you, when you're given such of an inability in this company to do so well and have the freedom to choose, you know.
Thank you, Kelly.
That's amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
really amazing. Well, congratulations on all of your successes. And it sounds like it's heading into new heights and soaring to new levels. So congratulations to all of that.
She's a
and
rock
thank you,
star.
everybody, for joining us this week. We can't wait to have you come back next week. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.